Hello, Will here, and it's been a while, but we are finally back in the driver's seat in Gran Turismo Sport, in the daily races, and the first race we are at is the Autodrome Lago Maggiore, or race A. Now, it's been a while since I've actually done a video on Gran Turismo Sport, and it's been a while since I've actually played the game. I mean, I've been playing it for the past couple of days, just to sort of try and get back into it, but I am still a little bit rusty. Like an old lance here, a bit rusty. But as you can see, we qualified in 7th, so that's to be expected with the rustiness of my driving ability. So we are in the Camaro in this one. You can see already showing my rustiness by taking that first corner a bit rubbish. Well, second corner really. Or the hairpin, whatever you want to call it. But you can see, we climbed up to 5th. So we're about where I normally used to be, in the middle of the pack. You would have to excuse me if I can't pronounce people's names, because people have got weird names on this bloody game, and 2, if I can't read the name, and half the time it's because I can't see it properly on my screen, because my recording screen at the moment is very small and all the names are very blurry. Now I did unfortunately go a bit wide there, lost the position to the Spaniard. I'm just going to call him Nie, because I think it's like his name is like N-I-E something, blah 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 blah. So I'm just going to call him Nie. So later on in this race there will be an incident with Nie and the German of who is in 2nd place currently. His name I can't read at the moment, but I think it's like Meteotar or something like that. So I'm just going to call him Me. So we have Me and Nie. But obviously we're going to try and get back up, climb back up. So I managed to retake 5th place from Nie. And so as long as I finish above 7th, so basically finish above from where I started, then that's it's progress. It's a win. It's not a grand win because I don't get first, but it's a win. At least, especially after my bloody rustiness anyway. So obviously, yeah, we are on the 2nd lap now. So the Saudi Arabian in front of me has a penalty, but unfortunately I didn't have the ability to overtake, unfortunately. Going around, a bit on the outside, so going a bit wide there, missing the apex probably by miles, to be honest. Finally we're sort of racing side by side, but obviously he has the inside line compared to me, so he has the better line. Now, I do believe it's this lap I get the penalty, I think. Is it this lap or is it the next lap? I think it might be the next lap actually. I think it's lap 3. So there you go, there's a bit of the future detail there for you, that I do get a penalty in this race later on. But we're still managing to hold on the 5th. So coming on now onto the 3rd lap. So a bit of a group. Now I could have gone further to the left, trying to get the inside line, but I think at that point there would have been like 3 of us going around that corner at the same time. So I thought I'm going to hold off, I'm going to hold back, and I'll wait. Well, I do think I did lose a bit of time because I did take the hairpin corner not too great, unfortunately. As the same as German in front of me, who was in 2nd at one point, but now he's down in 4th, unfortunately. So technically for at the moment, 3rd is still up for grabs for me, but I'm not going to get like driving like that. Unfortunately, so drop down to 6th, so I only lose 1 position, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I'm not going to get 3rd if I drive like that. So coming here, And I'm definitely not going to get third if I drive like that. Because unfortunately now, I score on myself a 1 second penalty. Now originally I think I did say just a moment ago that it was 2 seconds. My mistake, it is a 1 second penalty. But lucky enough, I'm still fairly close to this pack. So, though the 1 second penalty will be damaging, it doesn't mean that a higher position than 6 is out of the question for me. But I have 1 lap to make those positions. Now one person has left the race. I don't think it was actually anyone in front of us. It was someone from the back. So my position hasn't been affected because of that. So going around the hairpin, I take that a little bit better this time. But obviously I still have that 1 second penalty to worry about. Because I love going wrong, apparently. But I'm right behind me. So I'm still within shout. You know, because I've 7 penalty now, so I will lose some ground. As you can see, I have lost what looks like quite a fair bit of ground. I will grant it does look like quite a fair bit of ground. So now it's just trying to play the catch-up game. There's a little bit of contact there between me and me. But not me, but the other me. The German me. So I get a little bit of a godsend. Because my tutor, there you go, that's his name, or I think that's how you pronounce his name, has scored himself a half second penalty. So 5th is definitely up for grabs as long as I stay within half a second behind my tutor. But for some reason, all of a sudden, kaboom! Goes right into the back of me. I overtake. I get 4th place. So now it's just like, screw it. I'm just gonna bring it home, and I get 4th place. Now later on in the video, I will be having a look at what happened there. I've already seen it, so I kind of know what basically happens. But we're gonna have a look, so then you can see if he was deliberate or accidental. So on to the next race. Alright, so here we are at one of the newer tracks that came within the last update. So I think it came out, maybe about a week ago, give or take, maybe 2 weeks ago now. So this race, unfortunately for me, didn't go too well. As you can see already, I'm in 18th and a 19th. So not the best start for me. And so unfortunately we are, there you go, finally. I was going to say, unfortunately we are sitting here for a long time for some reason. But funny enough. Now this track is not a track I've driven on that much at all. I obviously had a little bit of practice in trying to get my qualifying time, which obviously turned out to be rubbish. Because I'm in 18th out of 19th. But this race, a few things went wrong. Some because of drivers, some because of me. So this was a bit of an iffy race, but I stuck through it to the end. So it's 15 laps on the harder tyres. Now there's a few things that probably weren't, as their terrible corner for me there. There was always a little smattering of contact between a few of the cars. Always a little smattering of contact. Not anything too amazingly bad, from what I saw anyway. But there was always smatterings. So I managed to climb up I did manage to climb up to 14th, but down to 15th. Now I'm back up to 14th. Now to 12th. Now to 11th. See, this area of the track. Was where it always got messy, because everyone just kept going off. As you can see, I've managed to climb up to 10th. Somebody has already left. There's now only 18 drivers. But going back to what I was going to say with me in this track, the dominant car for this track seems to have been the R8. The Audi R8 was the dominant car. on here. But I do believe you could do this race on a no-stop strategy. But you do have to fuel save like a son of a gun. You do have to fuel save quite heavily. Not extremely heavily, but quite heavily to be able to make your fuel last for 15 laps. Which my fuel saving ability is rubbish. It doesn't help that I drive an automatic rather than manual. But there's still things I could do to fuel save, but I'm just rubbish at fuel saving. I didn't want to change the leniency of the power. So I was obviously going to do a one pit stop, which I think most of the people in this track race did. I think most people did do a pit stop. So we got another guys found there. So climbed up the 10th because people, and then all of a sudden I do get punted off there, and now I get a couple of little love taps from other people who also went off at the same time, or just a little bit after me. So I go from 10th down to 16th. I probably would have been able to join on a bit earlier, but unfortunately 2 other people also unfortunately went off, stopping me from being able to get back on the track. So yes, it was a not so like heavily annoying, but it was like, oh god, it's like, oh god, oh why, but nothing I could do about it. So I just now have to try and fight my way back up. So later on in the video, at the end, we will go through that again, that area, to see what happened. I know what happened. I have my theory on the idea of what happened, but obviously I'll let you lot see as well, to see if you think I'm right, or if there was a way for me to possibly avoid that happening, or if I was in the wrong, or whatever. You know, you can form your own opinion. I have my opinion on it, but I'll let you to watch and give your opinion on it as well at the same time. So I've got a lot of work to do to get back at the 10th again, as I am now stuck in 16th. So it's going to take a while, it's going to be a while, but so whilst I'm just slowly trying to get myself back up and trying to stay on the track and not go too wrong. Now, personally myself, I think in the end I did pick the wrong car for it. Now, I know I could have picked the R8, and I was thinking of picking the R8, to be honest. I was thinking about picking the R8, but at the same time, I want to make things a little bit interesting for me as well, so I don't want to always go for the more dominant car. And I've never actually drove this Beetle. I've had this Beetle for a long time, and I've never drove it. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to drive it on this race. Probably wasn't the best track to do it, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to go around in the Beetle and I'm going to see what I can do. So you can see I've managed to climb back at the 15th now. So managed to overtake the German of, I'm just going to call him DJ. I think he's like DJ Dijong, but I literally have no idea even how his name. If this German guy is watching it, sorry I butchered your bloody username. But as you can see, I made a mistake and dropped back down to 16th. Lovely. So, coming near the end of the 4th lap, any little or tiny bit of progress I made, I've now lost. So I've got to start all over again. Now I do believe at this point, 17th and 18th, at least 17th anyway, was something like 22 seconds behind or something like that. I believe he was 17th and 18th. I don't know what happened to them. I didn't bother going back to check. I don't know what happened to them. Of Harry and Andy. But something must happen with those two for them to fall back so bloody far. I'm trying to think. So obviously I've probably picked the wrong car for this. That's one reason why probably this race didn't go too well for me. Plus also my inexperience of the track. Again, I probably did about, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 laps of qualifying in practice, kind of a bit of practice to get a qualifying time, and that was about it. And then after that it was into the race. So whereas everybody else here has probably had a bit more experience on the track than I have. But that's not a racer's excuse. I probably also did pick the wrong car, for starters. As well as also, I do make a mistake when I pit. It's not like a massively time costly mistake, but it is a mistake. A mistake is a mistake, and a mistake will cost you time. Now, there is actually one name, considering I haven't played this game for a wee while, there is one name that has returned who I do recognise, and that is TOTRD. Now, I do believe the last time I raced against him was at Autopolis. And I think we were in Group 4 cars, I believe. It is in one of the videos that I do have up on YouTube. But I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was a Group 4 race at TRD. Not TRD, at Autopolis in Group 4. So he's one name that who I recognise, who I've raced against him before. So I managed to climb up to 15th because the Spanish guy of, literally have no idea how you pronounce that bloody name, it's just a whole mumbo jumbo. Someone's going to call him C3. So C3 obviously made a mistake there, and I was able to take 14th. A little bit of coffee. So we're on lap 7, and I've managed to climb up, since my punting, I've managed to climb up 2 positions. Whoopee-doo. But no, now that I've gone from the game for a little while, and I've come back, and I've come back to the game with kind of a slightly different mindset, because before stopping for a wee bit, I was focusing trying to get my driver rating up. I think for me a little bit too much, to be honest. Even though my driver rating isn't exactly massively bloody high, I'm only B. But I was focusing on too much on trying to get it up, and it kind of like took the enjoyment of racing against other people away from me a little bit, because I was focusing so hard. The little tiniest mistakes would kind of annoy me a little bit, or get under my skin and irritate me, and it would kind of take away the enjoyment if things weren't going too well. And so I'm come back with a different mindset in the ways of, yeah, you know, I'm still gonna try to do the best I can, but you know what, I'm not gonna push to keep trying to get my driver rating up to like A class and A plus class and this, that and the other and la 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 la. I'm just gonna race. If the race goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't go well, oh well. The only thing I'm interested in trying to keep up is my sportsmanship rating. That's the only thing I want to try and keep within the S class, rather than going anything lower. But driver rating, if I drop back down to C, I drop back down to C, and that's that. So there will be more videos on this in the future. So if you do enjoy my Gran Turismo videos, then good news for you. There will be more in the near future. But after all that talking, as you know, realise, I've now climbed up to position 11. I was in position 12, so I don't know if I got up to position 11 because someone else has left the race, because there's now only 17 races. So I don't know if I climbed this 11 because someone left or thing. So I'm pitting in now. Now I could have gone on for one more lap, but I've decided to do like a slight undercut, because as some of us were, some people went on for a bit longer. Now this is where I made a mistake. I had no reason to change the tyres. There was no need for me to change the tyre, but I did. I wasn't paying attention. I was like, pit in, change tyre, fuel. It was only sort of like after I left the pits, I was like, wait a minute, why did I change my tyres? I didn't need to. All I needed to do was just refuel, that was it. I didn't need to change tyres. What the hell am I doing? So, unfortunately there was a bit of an error, small error there for me. So, personal stuff, I do believe if I didn't change my tyres then I may have still lost like a position, possibly, because my fuel usage was a little bit higher than other people who pitted in. But I do believe that I probably would have come out at least like maybe 14th. So I still would have come out in a higher position. But since I wasted time by changing tyres, it's now dropping back down to 16th. Okay. So as you can tell, I'm having a wonderful race. So I'm now alongside C3. I go from the inside, trying to do a bit of an undercut here. And I do get past. Now I do take the inside line. Now unfortunately at this point, he does go wide. Now there was, I get myself a 2 per second penalty. And there was a bit of contact for us, so I do understand why I got the penalty. In the ways of, you know, there was contact between us, he went off. And I get 2 second penalty. But, as in the ways of, should, you know, did I force him wide? Or was it a pure racing accident? I don't know, because I know I was going around that corner a bit fast, but I was on the inside line. But again, at the end of the video, we will be looking at that in a form of analysis, and I will give my opinion. But I'll also like to see what your opinion on that small incident was. But there's not much I can do about it. It is what it is. And all I can do is just try and keep that gap between me and him as big as possible before I serve a penalty. Which unfortunately I don't do too well, because unfortunately I do believe that DTR does have the higher top end on the straights. So he's able to catch up very quickly and very easily. Now we have lost another racer, and I'm now back in 16th. So I'm literally, in comparison to the start of the race, basically in the same position as where I started. I started the race in 18th and in 19th. I dropped down to 15 and 16, but I do manage to overtake 15th to claim 14th place because Harry had pitted in. See, this is so. If I pitted now, if I pitted in now, I would basically probably be back at the pack now. So that's why I decided to do the undercut. So then at least then I wouldn't be at the back of the race. Which then it definitely would not be entertaining at all to watch if I was on my Larry Lonesome racing around the track. It would be pretty boring. And I probably just would have cut the replay there and then just moved on to the next race. So we've still got about about 3.5 laps to go. Just a little under 3.5 laps. So I've got basically 3 laps to try and make up as many positions as I can. On a track that I don't know too well. In a car that's probably not the best. You know, and the driving ability of a Stoat. I got my work cut out. So I'll have to see what I can do. And I'm coming on the 12th lap. So I set my new fastest lap. From here, I believe that's a 1:22.72, I believe. Again, I can't read it properly because my screen's all blurry whilst I'm doing this, and it's really annoying. Well, I set my fastest lap of 1:22.72. But unfortunately, going around track faster still hasn't really shown any benefit. I'm still stuck in 14th. And now I set another new fastest lap, by 0.12 seconds. I thought I'd go a bit silent now, then just let you listen to the sound of all the cars going, you know. Almost kind of spin out there. I keep it out, but I'm now gonna lose ground on C3 unfortunately because of that, allowing Harry to also catch up a little bit. So I'm just trying to basically catch up with C3 to try and get in this slipstream because he has the advantage on the straight lines compared to me. I don't have the advantage on the straight line. I may have the advantage in the corners, but I don't have the advantage in the straight line. Which unfortunately there are quite a few long straights in this fucking track. Unfortunately. But as you can see, I am slowly catching up with the pack. You know, sort of like, I think 12th to 15th, we're all sort of like, probably around about the same kind of distance apart from each other, maybe about second tops kind of thing. But you can see, we're all sort of like in our own little, there's gaps, but we're all in our own little niche area. So with 2 laps remaining, there's still a possible chance for me to gain some positions, as I set a new fastest lap for myself at a 1:22.503. So I am getting faster, I am getting better, I am slowly getting faster at track, but only slowly. I want to be in that point clear, only very slowly. But if I'm getting around the seat now, unfortunately there I am actually in that sector. So now that's always a lovely thing to see when you're trying to catch up with people, because you always think, ooh, is that person who went off or spun out near me? And it was. And unfortunately the victim was TOTRD. So I'm able to basically now get up to 13th, and I've been able to close ground on the C3 as well. So I am slowly, bit by bit, catching up to be able to get possibly 12th, maybe even 11th place. But I got one more lap to make of any positions. As we now come on to the final lap, once again setting a new fastest lap for me anyway. I mean, I think the fastest lap in the whole race in the end was like a 1:21 something. But I'm slowly keep improving and finding those little hundredths of a second to make up time. As you can see, the 10, 11 and 12 are all in a bundle. Probably because now they're too focused on fighting each other, trying to defend their positions. It's now allowing me to catch up. Now unfortunately I do go a little bit wide there, so I do lose a little bit of ground again, but not too much. I'm still within shout to be able to gain at least one position, maybe even 2. So coming up to the windmills, from here you can't see it too well from here, but I take the inside line and pass the other Brit, the Ghost Man I think his name is. Managed to overtake him, climb up to 12 on the last lap, in the last couple of corners, coming on some long straight. I'm not close enough to anyone to be able to take over on slipstream, but I get 12th place. So all in all, I do climb positions and do better than where I started. But all in all, not the best race, but still a fun race. So on to the final race at Brands Hatch. Now we're only on 4 laps, so a nice short race. Now Brands Hatch, I'm very rusty at Brands Hatch. I did qualify 9th, so I'm qualifying in an okay position. Not the best position, but an okay position. Now I am in the Renault Megane Trophy, which seems to be the dominant car. Now on it, yeah, with Brands Hatch, I decided with this one I decided to use the dominant car for this one, rather than, because I was originally going to do this in the Audi TT. I did do one race in the Audi TT on this track, but I don't know, the Audi TT just couldn't do very well on this track. I don't know why. I don't know if it was just the way I was driving it, or if it's just the Audi TT, when you accelerate after going around the corner, it just goes straight to you fucking much. It's like, I want to go forward, but no, but I want you to go around the corner. So I went for the Renault Megane, and yeah, it was so much easier to drive this Renault Megane around Brands Hatch. It was so much easier. So let's see how we do at Brands Hatch with my rustiness. So again, this is a nice short race. Now, the Spanish guy there, who just doesn't seem to be moving, he was on pole. He was the pole leader, and now he's dropped down to like, I don't know what he dropped down to. The last time I saw him, he dropped down to 12th, but obviously he's dropped back further than that. So I don't know where he's dropped down to, but he's dropped far. He has fallen far from grace. So now you'll have to excuse me if I don't say the names to these corners. I think this is Hawthorns. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I think this is that was Hawthorns. But I don't know the name of every corner in every racetrack. Actually, I barely know any of the names of the corners in the racetrack, so I just say long corner or short corner. But you can see, by the end of the first lap, I've managed to climb up to 6th place. So I've managed to climb up 3 positions. Someone else has gone off there, and managed to come up to 5th. Trying to go around the outside of the 3rd echelon. The invisible man goes wide, and climb up the 4th. Now, the 3rd echelon has the inside line here, so he's able to overtake, and he's able to take 4th from me. But here I have the inside. A little bit rusty, but he does probably have the faster exit there. So, unfortunately, I'm not able to retake 4th. But I'm able to hold off the Frenchman, keep 5th place, despite it going on the outside and him being on the inside. So, let's see what happens here. I'm still able to hold on. Not fast too serious, thinking about maybe going for a bit of a tactic to try and get on the outside, but he's too far back, so couldn't really do much there, unfortunately. So going out to here, I cut the corner. Obviously not meaning to cut the corner, but unfortunately I cut the corner and score myself a half a second penalty. And as you can see, this is, at the moment, I think by now it is a fairly close race. For now, it's a very close race between 4th and 8th, I believe. There's quite a few cars nearby, so that half a second penalty, even though it's only half a second, could potentially be quite damaging. It depends on how much ground everyone else behind me is able to make. So as you can see there, there's potentiality there for me to at least drop down to 8th after I serve my penalty. So I'm not trying to keep up with 4th to overtake him. I'm just trying to keep up with 4th to basically get away from everybody else. But as you can see, obviously it's not working. my escape plan is not working, unfortunately. So not too far away from 7th penalty now. So 8th is a bit far back, so I may drop down to 7th. That's probably the furthest I will drop back down to after serving my penalty. But we shall see what happens. Going around again, I got not fast too serious. Trying to get past. I know he wants to try and get past, but I'm being a little bit defensive. And just a little bit. Because as it turns out, the half-second penalty wasn't massively damaging, as you see. Not fast too serious. Tries to hit the inside. He does finally put it off. And then we're racing side by side. Now, unfortunately, in the end, I do drop back down to 7. But I don't believe that was because of the penalty. I believe that was because of the last corner before the straight. It's basically I was on the outside and I probably wasn't going around the corner the fastest I were, primarily because I was on the outside. So that cost me those 2 positions. So now I've got to try and climb back up. You can see it's a fairly close race between me, 2nd and 8th. You know, sort of like 9th. It's a bit far up, so it's at this present moment of time between 2nd and 8th. It's nearly anybody's race to who actually gets into the higher positions, because it's quite easy for people to make mistakes. So you see, I'm holding off another bit of, I think that's ATW, I believe, and so at this moment now, unfortunately I'm stuck fighting ATW here. I'm stuck fighting him. So I go a bit wide here. So does literally everybody else. And managed to not spin out. But lucky enough, I got a godsend. One because loads of people went off there at the same time, but also because not fast too serious has got himself a penalty. I think it was a 3-second penalty. I think, yeah, 3-second penalty. So all I need to do was basically finish not 3 seconds behind him, and which I do. And so thanks to not fast too serious having that 3-second penalty, I managed to climb up to 6th place, which all in all I'm not going to argue with. But that's it for all the daily races. Alright, so here we are with the... Well, I could say it's an incident, but I don't know if it's an incident or if it's more revenge or something, or frustration. I don't actually know. I've started quite far back, really, because I wanted to see what happened a bit before. Because he did have a penalty, so I was wondering if he was trying to take revenge on Nee because he got that half-second penalty. But he got that penalty on his bloody own. Because he obviously cut the corner. But as you can see, you know, he's quite far behind me, so I don't know what's going on. But he brakes so late, so late, smashes into knee. There I go. Thanks for that. I'll have that for. Thank you. So yeah, so going again. I don't know what he's actually doing. I don't know if he's just having revenge or something, or if he's just got pissed off because he was in 2nd at one point and he dropped down to 4th and then got himself a penalty, so he's just like, screw this, and thought I'm just going to take it out on the person closest to me, which unfortunately was me. Or if he just wasn't paying attention because he braked so late, because he was supposed to brake around about the 100 board, but he braked around about the 50 board. So what do you think it was? Revenge? Incompetence? Or something else? Alright, so we're coming on to this one. I haven't started yet. I mean, I think I'd take a little wee while to actually bloody start it. But this is the incident where in the second race, or race, what was actually race C, where this is the one where I get punted. You know, I get punted off. Now, unfortunately, I can't see his name from here. But we're in this perspective. So you can see, he does brake. there. But I don't know if he gets hit behind by Wolfie here. No, because I don't know if he gets hit by Wolfie there. Or if he hit me first, and then Wolfie hit him. I'm not entirely sure. Because both the collisions between the three of us all are very closely near to each other. So I don't know. I can't really tell from myself what it was. I may have possibly braked a bit too early, potentially. That is a potential there. Actually, I think Wolfie hit him first because there was a sound of a collision and then I was hit afterwards. So I do believe Wolfie hit the other driver, which I seriously cannot see his name. Yeah. But the other South African. And then obviously you can see I can't get back on track. It takes forever for me to get back on track. But yeah, I do believe there is potential that I did brake a little bit too early. There is that possibility that I did brake too early. But I do believe it was like a domino effect. Wolfie hit the other South African, and then the other South African hit me, which made me go off. So it was just basically a pure racing accident. But I may have braked a bit too early. But what do you think? Did I brake a little bit too early, or was it just a generalised racing accident? So now we're coming to the last one. This is the one. It's in the same race. This is the one where I get the 2-second penalty. Where C3, it looks like I run him wide. But I don't. No, I don't intentionally run people wide. That's the thing. I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna run him wide and run him off the track because I'm an asshole. You know, I don't intentionally run people wide. So you can see I'm on the inside. He's gone quite wide. I'm on the inside, but he's also trying to get into the inside. There, as you can see. So, do you think he should have not so much backed out of the corner, but just moved over to the right just a little bit? You can see from my perspective here. I'm not going full acceleration there to try and run him wide or anything like that. You know, because even I was very far into the corner here. You can see I'm very far into the corner. So, I mean, personally myself, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, C3 there should have just moved over to the right a little bit, tucked in behind me, you know, just backed off, go to the right a little bit, tuck in behind me on the long straight and overtake, because he does have the faster car. He had the faster car, and I'm pretty sure he knew that. And I'm pretty sure he knew he had the faster car, and you know, his car had the legs to do it. So myself there, I think, my opinion, I didn't run him wide. And what he should have done was move just a little bit over to the right, and then overtook me on the straight. That's what I think. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Should he have backed out, or did I push him wide? I'm very interested to see. But that's it for this video, and until next time, I will see you all at the finishing line.